Dear students, I have discussed the important chapter points of the last lesson by Alphonse Daudet in my previous three video lectures, and today in my fourth lecture I am going to discuss the important questions and answers of that chapter. So today I shall start by uh, telling you the answers of the questions asked in Flamingo. Okay, so today I will start from understanding the text of Flamingo, understanding the text, part 1, question number 1. The people, so let me read the question. The people in the story suddenly realize how precious their language is to them. What shows you this? Why does this happen? So, in this question, I have to cite the proofs that bring home the point that the people on the last day of the French lesson are, you know, in a way missing their language. And today I have to cite the reasons or the proofs to bring home the point that the citizens of Alsace and Lorraine are now feeling guilty, are now feeling remorseful about ignoring their mother tongue. Okay, so let me cite you the proofs. So, understanding the text. Answer. So, what shows you this? The fact that the villagers have gathered, have attended the last French lesson given by M. Hamel. It is the most important proof. The citizens attending M. Hamel's lecture of French on the last day of French being taught. Then, so see, here I am writing only the points, and you have to elaborate my points and make it a complete answer. Okay. So the second point is, pin drop silence in M. Hamel's class. Third, the students paying attention to what M. Hamel is saying, paying full attention, paying undivided attention to what M. Hamel is saying. Then France, feeling guilty about not learning his mother tongue. France, along with all other citizens, feeling guilty about ignoring their mother tongue, about not learning their mother tongue properly. Then, last but not least, M. Hamel also felt guilty that until now he was more interested in fishing and or relaxing himself in the time when he is supposed to conduct his classes. So, last but not least, M. Hamel feeling a sort of guilt, feeling remorseful about not conducting the classes, the French classes regularly, and going on fishing trips instead. ठीक है. So these are the points. You elaborate these points and make it a complete answer. Okay, now let me come to the second question. Let me read. France thinks, will they make them sing in German? Even the pigeons. Uh, what could this mean? So, as I told you earlier, that this line is an example of sarcasm. It is an example of sarcasm. SARCASM. And what is sarcasm? When you say something and by that, on the face of it, apparently it seems that you are approving of that, but in reality, on the deeper side of things, you are disapproving that. Sarcasm is a type of remark which is made in one sense, but it conveys another sense. When you say something and by which it seems that you are approving of that, but in reality you are disapproving of that. Your implication is something opposite. Suppose I am giving you an example. Like, if you come to class not doing your homework and I say, very good, then am I approving of it? No. I am deeply disapproving of your gesture. And by my utterance, I am being sarcastic. Okay. So, see, here by this line, the writer means that it is not possible to uproot the natural traits, the natural qualities of a person. It is very difficult to snatch away which comes to somebody by itself or automatically. It is very difficult and it is rather impossible to make a person give up his natural things or his natural abilities or his natural qualities and impose something artificial upon them. So let me explain. See, these pigeons here in these lines, the writer compares the citizens of Alsace and Lorraine to the pigeons. See, you know, these pigeons, they are born to coo. They will say, they will utter only a particular sound throughout their life. They will only C double O, coo. It is the call of the pigeons. And if you force the pigeons to speak German, then it is quite an impossible task. Just like that, the French people are born to speak French, to express themselves through the language of French. So French language is somehow their identity. Now, if you suddenly force them to speak German and you say one fine day that from now on you cannot speak French, you have to speak German, then it is quite an impossible task. You cannot make them German by giving up their French identity. So, this through these lines, the writer makes fun of the policy of the Prussian government, makes fun of the policy of the Prussian government to comments the teaching of German language in the French districts of Alsace and Lorraine. So makes fun of the Prussian government policy. So something natural cannot be taken away. Something natural cannot be taken away. And what is natural in this case? The French people speaking French to express themselves. And through this language of French, the French people unlocks their heart. Okay? Okay, thank you. Then, now, let me come to the next question. talking about this. When the people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast to their language, it is as if they had the key to their prison. Uh, Let me explain this line. See, when a group of people are imprisoned, then those group of people can somehow survive, they can somehow exist. Though they would not be able to exist fully, unlocking their full potential, but still they will somehow survive if some people are put in jail, some people are are imprisoned. Now think of another situation. If those people are are imprisoned and besides that you force them to remain quiet, you force them not to speak their mother language, their native tongue, then it is a bestial existence. It is a living like an animal. If you cannot talk, if your mind does not flow freely, when if besides being imprisoned, you are also imprisoned mentally, then it is tantamount to living like an animal. Now, suppose you snatch away the liberty or freedom of a particular group of people, but they have full permission to speak their speak out their minds. If they if you give them the opportunity to protest, then they can somehow survive even under bondage. But if you enchain them as well as you snatch away their words and you force them to remain calm and quiet, and you force them to say nothing about this injustice, then it is like the situation of a dead person. It is a death-like existence. Okay. So somehow the people can relieve the burden pent up within their hearts through language, through their language of protest. But if you force them, you know, even not to protest, then it is living in a physical prison and also in a mental prison. You cannot unlock, you cannot unburden your heart, you cannot express your anger. Then it is a death like existence. Like, see, during the British rule, the Indians had no freedom, but they voiced their anger, they voiced their protest through the publication of various pamphlets. And this publication of those pamphlets relieved or unburdened the hearts and minds of the Indians. Now, so when the people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast to their language, it is as if they had their key to the prison. So when this enslave group of people, particular community, but you give them full permission and you permit them to speak their minds out, speak out their pent up feelings, then they can somehow survive, then they can somehow exist. But if you even take away their voice, then it is a death like existence. And what is meant by the key to their prison? See, key, this language is the key to the free flow of the thoughts. Language is the key of key to the free flow of thoughts and ideas. And this the free flowing of thoughts and ideas is what people mainly need to exist. They need to express themselves. So Language is the key to full expression of yourself, of your identity. And this full expression, it has a technical term, self actualization, the fact that you exist. So you assert that you also have an individual existence. In this society through your language. So your language asserts your existence in this earth, and this assertion of existence is what people need actually to survive. They can be imprisoned, but they should be allowed to speak and write freely. Then they will feel that they also have a reason to exist. Now, here in this chapter, what is happening here in this chapter? Here, the this Prussian government is snatching away from the people the only way to assert the existence of the French people in Alsace and Lorraine. The Prussian government is taking away from the French citizens of Alsace and Lorraine the only way left for them to express themselves, and the only way left for them to express themselves is by the speaking of French language. Now, the Prussian government is snatching away the French language from the people. So they are, now fully imprisoned. They are living, the French people are living under the bondage of the Prussian government, and also they cannot express themselves freely by their speaking of French. They have to speak German now. So these French people cannot assert their existence. The French people cannot actualize themselves. The French people cannot reinforce the fact that they also have a independent existence, because they cannot express themselves fully. And their mind is not without fear, and their head is not held high. Their head will always be bowed down, because they cannot express themselves. They have to live like animals. So it is a death-like existence. It is a hellish existence. Now, I am not a history teacher. Uh, please ask your history teacher and pick out suitable examples when a group of people are forced not to speak their mother tongue. Yes, I can remember. See, after the partition of India in 1947, India was bifurcated into two separate countries, India and Pakistan. And this Pakistan also had two separate parts, East Pakistan and West Pakistan. Now this East Pakistan people, they are Bengalis. They are the speakers of the Bengali language. Now the Pakistan government tried to force them to abandon Bengali and speak Urdu, because Urdu is the official language of Pakistan. Now this group of people living in East Pakistan, they protested. So it is an example. You can also think of other examples. Okay, now I think I have fully discussed everything. Now I think you have no doubt left. Still, if you have any doubt, please contact me. Bye for now. Thank you.